You're listening to a new episode of Girl Down Podcast with your host, me, Aeon. So sit back, relax, and listen as I unpack the uncertainty of my 30s, one episode at a time. So, one of the topics that I wanted to make when I was still on my hiatus was the just hilarious story and her saying that trans folks are mentally ill and rah, rah, rah. So glad that I let time pass and let life, because not even a couple of weeks later, just in a lot of the black cis women that were up in arms that felt like black trans women were trying to infringe in their spaces and take stuff away from them, have been proven wrong that y'all don't give a fuck about women and protecting women and all of the bullshit that y'all like to espouse when black trans women specifically are holding y'all accountable for y'all transphobia. What am I talking about? So, everybody, at the time of me recording this, it's been a week out since the whole Erica Mena calling Spice a blue monkey on Love and Hip Hop, and there's just this large debate. Well, not even debate. There is a large swath of people, particularly black women, who see nothing wrong with what Erica Mena said, calling her a blue monkey, totally ignoring the fact that even if Spice happens to look like a monkey, which I think is irrelevant, that there is, here in the United States of America, there is a history of why monkey is a pejorative and racist term in relation to black people. Like, that is a fact. Go and do your research, do your studies. But this is why black folks are sensitive to the word monkey sounds. White folks throwing bananas at them. Like, there is a thing, and just the cognitive dissonance and people being obtuse to defend this Latina woman who is not black in any way, but has benefited from black culture for over a decade now, and who has continued to take up space on Love and Hip Hop, which is created in part by a black woman, a culture that the culture of hip hop, which black women are integral to. Black women have helped to shape and critique the culture. She's also an actress now. She has a couple of movies on Tubi, which I saw. And and she is on a app called a streaming app called All Black that has black content that's probably not owned by black people, but it has black content and is promoted to black people. And she's a part of I believe she's a principal or the lead actress of this ensemble whose audience is black people. But because y'all don't like Spice and because y'all don't like dark-skinned people and y'all don't believe that colorism is a thing, we're just going to excuse this non-black woman saying monkey. Not in any least surprised by the sentiment and people not sticking up for Spice, even though Spice, from what she has shown on the show, is also just as much of a bird and is not the perfect victim. She is a dark-skinned black woman, and it just is what it is. What I want to talk about, and shout out to Erica De Niro TV because she said it perfectly. It was y'all don't get when it y'all don't give a damn about black cis women. Y'all don't give a damn about protecting other black cis women. Because every time, so jumping back to the whole Just Hilarious, and why I started with Just Hilarious, after the aftermath of the Erica Mena Spice thing, Just Hilarious does a video where she excuses Erica Mena for calling this actual black woman a blue monkey, and says, well, maybe she does look like a monkey, or maybe she looks like a monkey to her, when just 2 or 3 weeks ago you're talking about how nobody protects black women, but here a actual black woman is harmed by this word, and harmed on a public platform, for us to be dissecting it and for us to double down on why Erica Mena should have had the right to say this word. So I'm so happy that people picked up on the hypocrisy of particularly black cis women who were so antagonistic to trans people during the initial controversy with Jess. Because even then, I knew it was all a bunch of bullshit. Y'all don't care about protecting black women. Y'all never do. And the shade is, when you're asking who protects black women, it should be other black women. But it's the black trans women I know, we are windmilling in the rafters too, protecting y'all too. So to see how intense y'all were when it came to hating on trans people, saying we weren't real, saying we wish we could have periods, saying that we're being disrespectful to real women, and real women do this and real women do that, to jump not even a month later to an actual dark-skinned black cis woman being called a blue monkey on national television, and y'all have none of the energy for Erica Mena or none of the black men who prefer the Exoticals going up for Erica Mena. It's just like, oh, okay. So I have to say a couple of things. Y'all are hypocrites. And I think it leads me to this point here that, bitch, I'm not going to stop using motherfucking cisgender. Like, I am not going to stop. And I know it feels like I'm jumping all over the place. But no, the reason that I'm not going to stop using the word cisgender is a couple of things. 2, oh, Jesus. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop using it. 1, I can't, as a black trans person, stop using it. Because for me, cis is a way for me to be descriptive when I am talking about women who are not trans. But I need to affirm my humanity while affirming yours as well. So I don't have the privilege of not using the word cis and speaking about women and hoping that everybody catches in when I'm differentiating between a trans woman and a cis woman. So no, I'm not going to stop using the word cis. If you feel some type of way about it, I really don't care. But I don't have the privilege or the luxury to just to stop using words that don't have a history of being problematic or misogynistic. Like, it's not enough for you to just, for a word to be problematic, it's not enough for you to feel some type of way about it. There has to be a history of a word being used by the dominant culture to discriminate, demean, and oppress somebody. And the truth of the matter is, trans people, and I wish y'all would be specific, particularly black women, when y'all are having y'all critiques about trans people. Y'all are really talking about black trans women. Y'all are not talking about white trans, but y'all try to say trans to kind of broaden it. But no, y'all are really talking about black trans women. And we have to, I want y'all to be specific, because we have to talk, because if you were specific and said black trans women, then we could be honest and have conversations about how black trans women and black cis women are in relationship with each other, and these myths that you think about us or how we show up or how you think we want to take over, if you acknowledged our blackness, we could maybe sit and have a conversation and kind of work through all of those myths and misconceptions and all of that. But y'all don't want to do that because y'all want to other us, because you don't want to have to deal with your own sexism and your own transphobia and transmisia. And so yeah, I'm not going to stop using the word, because for me as a trans person that lives in a world that is catered to cis people, I have to be specific in when I'm naming my harm, when I'm naming how I move through the world, when I'm differentiating my transness from your cisness. I have to be specific. And no, I'm not going to call you a real woman, or just because I am not cis, I'm very much real. And two, there are just different types of womanhood, and that is okay. Two, I'm not going to stop using the word cis, because this whole idea that black trans women are being... I'm not going to stop using it, because I need cis folks to really work through their sexism. And just trying to all lives matter the situation and obviate it and act like it's not a big deal, that lets me know that even on a subconscious level, you are resting. You're not working through unlearning the cis sexism that not only erases me and others me, but also harms you as well too. And what do I mean when I mean by that? Just acknowledging that that you are cis and I am trans. You have to. So basically, what cis sexism is, because I could hear somebody say that, what is cis sexism? Here's another trans person using these terms. Cis sexism is a belief that there are only two genders. And not only that there's a belief that there are only two genders, that the world, institutions, the legal system support these two genders, and that there is nothing else. And while that might seem innocent on the surface, there are real implications for that, especially if you are a person that falls outside of that binary. When you think of... we see how obviously that impacts trans people, particularly when we think about in the healthcare field, gender affirming care. Trans people, for me, for instance, as a trans woman, the type of care I need doesn't fit into a neat binary system, because I need things that I need medical interventions that speak to my womanness, but I also need interventions that speak to me being a person that was assigned male at birth. So there might be times where I need to go to a quote unquote woman's doctor to get a breast exam, a mammogram for my breast, because I'm a person that has breasts. But as somebody that is assigned male at birth, I have a prostate, right? And God willing, I live to be I live to be 50. I need to start getting a prostate exam. But the way that the world is set up now, because there are two genders, women don't get to get prostate exams. You only get to get pap smears, or you only get to get breast exams. So what does it look like for me as a trans person that has both breast and a prostate, trying to navigate the medical system? And I'm not just saying this as a hypothetical. There's been trans folks that have died because we don't have any medical system set up to honor somebody that might be a mixture or both, or somebody that might has transversed from one sex or gender to the next, and you end up getting pushed out of care, and it impacts your life. So that's just an example of how cis sexism only the belief that there are only two genders impacts you on a real level, because our medical care system is set up on a binary. Our legal system is set up on a binary. Our taxes and just everything is set up on under whether you are a man or one woman, and trans people are automatically going to fall through the cracks. But even cis people that don't live up to or don't live their life in a way of what it means to be a man or a woman fall through those cracks as well. And that's why it's important for even cis people to recognize the privilege that they have, that they're able to navigate in these systems, and they have a world that can respond to them in a way that, recognizes their gender and provides systemic and institutional supports for just how they show up in the world. Recognizing how that is a privilege, but also acknowledging it and unlearning it, so that you can make space for a smaller group of people, just so that we can all feel included. And I don't believe that somebody that is just burying their head in the sand, refusing to engage with cis, and refusing to acknowledge it as a valid term. It was so many people when the initial Just Hilarious thing was happening. It's just like, well, I'm just gonna call you a woman. Like because when I made the point that just calling, there are some trans women that don't want to be called trans women. They're only going to be called women. And you have people, well, I'm just going to call you a woman. But it's just like, sis, that's not really interrogating the issue. And I know that it's uncomfortable for y'all, because the fear is if cis women, black cis women have to acknowledge black trans women and how we arrive to our womanhood and how we stand so strong on it, then black cis women are going to have to interrogate their womanhood and acknowledge how flawed the system that they are relishing in really is, and how they do or do not live up to this idea of womanhood. And I feel like a lot of black cis women don't want to do that, because it's already hard for black cis women to affirm their womanhood without the whole trans thing. And then you just add black trans women in here that are, finding a way, and it makes people uncomfortable. But me, I'm not allowing other people's discomfort to make me put my life on the back burner. And as somebody that cares about the safety of all black women, I know that there is a way that we can do this as a community, and we all get what we need, and everybody feels safe. But I feel like I went on a tangent. Going back to the main point, a lot of y'all that were screaming protect black women when it was time for y'all to close ranks to hate on black trans women, y'all have shown y'all slip. Y'all have shown y'all slip, and I think y'all are still going to be asked. I think the people that ask who are going to protect black trans women when Just Hilarious was in the first scandal earlier in August, and people who are still asking that now are really not in community with other black women, whether they be cis or trans. And I feel like that's really sad, because at the end of the day, we are all that we have. I don't need to ask who's going to protect me, because I know who my community is. I know these men are not going to protect me, and now I don't even ask that of them anymore. But I think child, we want 2024 is going to be a really intense year. But I want us as women to get better. well, I don't want us as women to do anything. There are already, what I want to do is spotlight the women, both cis and trans, that we are building community with each other, and also we are providing support, and we're really trying to be examples for how to unlearn a lot of the shit. I shouldn't nobody be calling nobody monkeys. We shouldn't be giving passes for hoes that's not in our community, for hoes that don't sew into our community and make it easy for all of us. Erica Mena was fuck wrong. I don't care how long she's entertained me. She was wrong. There's no reason for you for. And another thing, a lot of y'all can't read. A lot of y'all see, because LGBT folks have come into the forefront, and a lot of y'all are pillaging our queer culture, and y'all are taking reading, and y'all think y'all can read. Reading somebody is not insulting them because they are dark skinned, or not insulting them because they are fat, or insulting them because they're queer or they're trans. Reading is a very skilled, stylized thing that requires intelligence. And if you do it right, the way I read a bitch is not going to know she gets read until she gets back home and then is in her bed and it's like, oh, that bitch read me. Like, taking low blows is not reading somebody. And I feel like, because and I like to name things are things over here, and I like to name them because black cis people have inserted themselves in black queer culture and co-opted and taken stuff. Y'all have taken the term reading, and y'all are just being nasty and toxic to each other without really being intelligent. And I think we have to call that out. But y'all are not, I hate to say it, but y'all are not reading. Y'all think y'all are reading, but y'all are not reading. But black cis, black trans women are in community with each other, and I don't care how mad you get. It's just certain stuff that you don't say unless you want to say that, unless that stuff is in you. And I think that's pretty evident. But that whole thing about protect black women and black trans women, that's why we as black trans women, we sit back and laugh at y'all, because it's not about protecting women. Because the first minute a black dark skinned woman is being respected is good. Fuck her, she deserves it. The first time, just like the black cis woman that got hit in the side of her face with a brick, the TikToker, y'all are sitting and blaming her, talking about how she deserved to get hit. Not having any of the energy for the men that sat by and watched this girl get attacked. But y'all don't really give a fuck about protecting women. Y'all care about performing for these men who don't want y'all, who are harmful to y'all, who they're going to be y'all downfall if y'all don't wake up and smell the coffee. And I really hope that y'all get free and released from the shackles of patriarchy. You throwing your own sisters under the bus is not going to make these men respect you anymore. It's not going to make these men protect you anymore. They barely are protecting themselves. And I'm so happy to live in a time where there are black cis women that get it, that really want to be in community with black trans women. I'm so happy to live in a time where we are having continuous conversations about colorism, the impacts of colorism, how it comes up, not allowing men, not allowing light-skinned folks, not even allowing dark-skinned people who try to act like colorism isn't a real thing. It is really a real thing. And it shows up in how y'all treat us, and I hope that we continue to have real conversations about colorism and the passes that y'all continuously give people to be colorists. Because it makes me feel good. It lets me know that I'm not crazy. But who's going to protect black women? We are going to protect each other. And when you're in community with black women that are down, that have your back, black women that includes black cis women, and also includes black trans women, you don't have to sit up and out and ask for help, because you already know whose your people are and where they at. And I know where my girls at. We here, we are organizing, we are kikiing, we're laughing, we are loving on each other, and it's only up from here. But fuck Just Hilarious, I don't fuck with her. Fuck Erica Mena, I hope she never makes a cent off of black folks ever again. Fuck Safari, I blame Safari. I feel like all of this is Safari's fault. Fuck him, stop putting him on Love and Hip Hop. And that's all that, and I'm gonna keep saying motherfucking sis, and I don't give a fuck who likes it or not. I'm gonna keep saying sis. It's appropriate, it's necessary. A lot of y'all need to step y'all game up when it comes to y'all language and stop being lazy. Step your game up with your language. That's all that it is. Step your language game up so that you can be able to participate in these conversations. And it's not a heavy reach. A lot of y'all just want to do stuff out of convenience and be lazy, and we're on to y'all. But that's all that I have for this episode. And I will be back with another episode soon. Talk to y'all later. Bye. Thank you for listening to another episode of Girl Down Podcast with me, Aeon. If you like the show, please be sure to go on over to Apple Podcasts and rate and review this podcast. Also, make sure that you're engaging with me on social media. Also, if you have any inquiries or you want to send me any questions, be sure to email me at girldownpodcast@gmail.com. Until next time, bye y'all.